One of the most interesting aspects of the Animal Crossing series is how it syncs up with the time and date of the real world. This single feature not only makes the game that much more immersive, it's also partially to blame for why we continue to come back day after day. There's always something new to do, people to see, and things to collect. But the series also tries to limit you in how much you can do in one single day. But surprisingly, Animal Crossing New Horizons has packed in more activities and ways for you to spend your time than usual. So if you're new to the series or just need a refresher on how you can spend that time you have in the world of Animal Crossing, we've got you covered. I'm Zion from Nintendo Life, and today we're here to share with you 10 reasons to revisit your island life on the daily in Animal Crossing New Horizons. And of course, you don't need to stick to this sort of schedule, but if you do decide to give your villagers a daily check-in, this list should come in handy. There are a number of ways you can make some extra bells in Animal Crossing, but out of all of them, we think that these are the most cost-effective for your time. Every day on your island, you should be able to find a little glowing spot, and if you dig it up with your shovel, you'll find a bag of bells. But if you replant those bells, or even a larger bag of bells, in a few days a money tree will grow that you can shake some money out of. You can also find a rock in your town once a day that will spew money instead of minerals if you hit it with a shovel. Of course, you can collect and sell the seashells that spawn on your beach, and surprisingly, some of them sell for a lot more than you'd think. I usually like to collect them at the start of my day, so then as the day progresses, they actually slowly respawn over time, so then at the end of my day, I can go collect them again and sell them. It's also a good idea to go and nab some of the non-native fruit from your trees and cash them in at Nook's Cranny as well. And while you're there, it wouldn't hurt to check and see what your turnip prices are either. Even if you forgot to buy some the past Sunday from Daisy May, maybe a friend will have some and they'll want to come visit your town and sell theirs off. And if they're a true friend, they'll cut you in on a bit of the profits. Hopefully, all of us by now have a favorite character on our island. I know I have a few that I don't really care for too much, but I do have Kid Cat, Sydney is really growing on me, and Felicity is super sweet too. And I'd be absolutely devastated if they just randomly up and left my town. So to prevent that from happening, it's a good idea to check in with your villagers daily just to keep them happy and know that you're around and that you care. So swinging by their place to chat, or even just saying hey if you bump into them on the street, means the absolute world to them. Which, speaking of friends, brings us to our next topic, which is to check your mailbox. Now I know that sounds pretty obvious, but sometimes, maybe you don't want to because of all the letters that we get from the HHA, Nook Shopping, the occasional letter from Mom, which, speaking of Mom, has anyone ever gotten a letter from Dad? It's always nice to get a letter from a villager or even a real-world friend, and it's even better to get one with a gift attached. Now I understand typing a letter with the Switch controller or even just the screen isn't super fun, but it's still worth putting in the effort for. You never know how much that single letter could matter to someone, how much it could brighten their day. Now I know everyone and their friend on the internet are complaining about not having the DIY recipe for the cutting board. I don't have it either, don't ask me. And the only way to cure that problem, though, is by nabbing more DIY recipes. And thankfully, there are plenty of ways to net extras each day. You can receive them from bottles that have washed up on your shore, receive them from balloons, and so much more. But I won't spill all the beans on DIY recipe collecting, as our video producer, Alex, has also gone ahead and put together a comprehensive video guide all about DIY recipe collecting with his bare hands. So please go check that out if you want to learn more. We'll pop a link in the description down below to that video. Now, collecting items has always been something people go crazy over in Animal Crossing, but now it's even more important that you can place those same items anywhere on your island. And thankfully, there are tons of ways you can find new items every day. Nook's Cranny and the Able Sisters will stock different furniture and clothing each day, so it's worth checking in with them to see what new items they may have that you're missing from your collection or looking for. But you can also purchase a smaller selection of items from the Nook Shopping app, which most of are pretty useless later in the game, but it appears to be the only place that you can purchase KK Slider records, which I personally love collecting. It's one of the first things I check when I start my day to see if they have one for sale that I am still missing. You can also find a piece of furniture hiding in a random tree once a day, and the only way you'll be able to find it is by shaking them until you eventually get lucky and it falls out. And of course, balloons are also an excellent source for furniture, clothing, and clay. My favorite. Another way to earn more items is by giving your villagers gifts. Now, they won't always give you something in return, but if they appreciate the sentiment enough, they may give you furniture, clothing, or even just outright pay you for the effort. Which always feels awkward. Like, don't pay me, this is a gift. They'd be like, what if you gave your significant other something, and then they opened up their wallet and just handed you more money than you paid for it? But I guess some people probably understand what that feels like, because like when you get married and you have joint bank accounts, is that what it feels like? Special characters will also appear on your island randomly each day, like Gulliver, Flick, and Label. Certain characters stick around for longer than others, but it's definitely a good idea to utilize their abilities while they're there. Whether it's trading in all those fish you've been hoarding in your basement to get a better price with CJ, or just to collect a new DIY from Celeste, there's always someone worthwhile to see on your island. You may also encounter extra special characters like Zipper or Leaf, depending on the time of year, and if there is some special event happening in-game. The choice to talk to them, though, is entirely yours. Resources are a new and important element to New Horizons. You'll need them to craft replacement tools, furniture, and other random things on your island. Certain things like sticks can be farmed infinitely from your trees, but minerals and wood have a limit, so it's a good idea to get in some time collecting wood and iron nuggets if your storage is looking a little low. If you have a flower garden going, don't forget to make sure you water them daily, unless if it rains, then you don't have to worry about it. And if you happen to be playing at night, keep your eyes peeled for shooting stars so you can get those wishes in and get those star pieces. Every day, the Nook Miles app on your phone will have generic tasks that, if completed, will reward you with extra Nook Miles. And the first 5 tasks the game gives you for the day will have multipliers set on them that will give you extra points for getting them done. It's easy to watch the Nook Miles build up if you've redeemed them for most of the necessities early on in the game, but remember, you can always cash them in for bells if you happen to need some in a pinch. You'll also earn extra Nook Miles by checking into the terminal located inside Resident Services once each day. And if you check in multiple days in a row, you'll be rewarded with even more miles. Make sure to keep an eye out for fossils that are hidden around your island each day as well. Typically, you can find around 3 to 4 fossils a day in the ground, but if you play a day and you forget to snag all of them, it seems like some of them carry over, as I've found as many as 7 in one day before. So make sure to check every nook and cranny when you're running around your island getting things done. You can also sell off any extra fossils that Blathers doesn't need, and that has the potential to net you quite a few extra bells as well. And now, you may not always have time to stop and catch every bug or fish you sprint past, but it's worth keeping your eyes peeled for rare critters that you still need for your encyclopedia. And even if you already have an Agrius butterfly in your museum, so what? Go catch another and trade it into the shop for a fat stack of bells. And if it happens to be raining on a particular day and you've got some extra time, it might be worth hitting the water to see what fish you can scoop up, as supposedly you have a higher chance of catching rare fish when it rains. Now, it should only take you about an hour or 2 to get everything on this list done, but you can definitely shorten that time by cutting away some of the activities that you'd prefer not to do. Feel free to let us know of any activities that are in your daily regimen in the comments down below, and let us know if you found any of this information useful. And if you're looking for more Animal Crossing guides, we've been working almost non-stop and have a ton of written guides for nearly just about anything you can possibly think of for the game over at nintendolife.com. And Alex and I have whipped up quite a few video guides on Animal Crossing New Horizons as well, which are all featured in their own playlist. We've worked up guides all about hunting down different rare fish like the stringfish, the golden trout, the mahi-mahi, and the giant trevally. We also did a guide all about balloons. Alex made a video all about different secrets within Animal Crossing. We even have a general tips video as well. So if any of that sounds like it suits your fancy, then we'll pop a link in the description down below to that playlist. And if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more content like this, you can of course guide your mouse or finger over to that subscribe button. Or you can go ahead and watch one of the other Animal Crossing videos we have up on screen. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm Zian from Nintendo Life. Stay safe out there, and we will see you next time.